2020 and currently serves at the F of Department, Cyber Security and Computer Science, and Deputy Dean, Faculty of Computing. He is also affiliated with the Nigeria Open University, National Open University of Nigeria, and ASETEL. His teaching portfolio spans undergraduate and postgraduate courses in computer science, networking, cloud security, and information system. He has supervised numerous students across BSc, PGD, and MSc levels. Professor NM's research focused on cyber security, artificial intelligence, network system, and fraud detection. He has led and participated in several funded research projects, including TED Fund and Nigeria Effort Grant, and has authored numerous peer-reviewed journal articles, conference papers, and book chapters. He is a member of professional bodies such as the Computer Professionals of Nigeria, Nigeria Computer Society, ITSSP. His contribution to academia and national development has earned him multiple awards and commendation. Please join me as we welcome Professor Theophilus Enemeka Nem for his paper presentation. Prof, you have the floor. Our ears are attentive to you.
Your Grace, my parish priest, Reverend Father Dr. Gaya, the chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is N.M. Theophilus, a retired flight lieutenant with Nigerian Air Force. I'm here to speak on the topic artificial intelligence, the peril of technological age, and its risk in replacing human ingenuity and relationships. Today we are going to look at this artificial intelligence. The word artificial tells you it's not real. But before we do justice to it, there are sections we are going to look at. My presentation agenda is about 8 parts, from introduction down to conclusion, and the references. So we'll be looking at the introduction. What is the introduction here? To tell you a brief story of what we're going to discuss. Artificial intelligence has emerged as one of the most transformative forces in the 21st century, redefining how human works, think, and interact. And it's far from being a single technology. AI represents a convergence of computational systems capable of simulating human cognition, from learning and reasoning to creativity and, again, decision-making. Its rapid integration into healthcare, finance, education, governance marks a historical shift comparable to only electricity and the internet. Before we continue, if there's anything I'm going to talk about that's not in the Bible, count me out. How do I mean? Knowledge comes from the Bible and from God. And that's why I drive my topics from Genesis and Daniel. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness." So we are likeness and image of God. Again, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Daniel. Meaning the knowledge shall increase, and it has right now. How has it increased? What makes it to increase? That's what we're going to look at. AI is our peril of technological age, born from the irritation of human limitation, yet carrying out inherent risk if left unguided. If we don't pamper it, if we don't guide it, there might be trouble. What is artificial intelligence? The literal meaning. It's a convergence of technologies that allows machine to simulate, replicate, and exceed human cognitive functions. Expert machine that can carry out tasks. AI is a convergence of software, data, and compute that enables machine to simulate, replicate, sometimes exceed human cognitive function. This includes sensing, pattern recognition, prediction, generation, and autonomous action. Practically, AI ranges from narrow tool to recognize images to a large foundation models that produce text, images, code, decision, with each different implication for human work and vocation. When we talk about vocation, that's where the real thing comes, the spiritual aspect. Understanding AI means understanding the technologies that build it, the terminologies that describe it, and the philosophy that describe it. So we are going to look into 8 branches of AI that will enable us understand this concept, how it is being debated upon. From the machine learning, which is the engine of modern AI, and the foundational technology underlying almost everything AI system in the use of today. Instead of programmers that used to write programs all over, codes, machine learning have taken over. 2, deep learning and neural networks. Deep learning is a specific subset of machine learning that uses structures called neural networks. Multi-layered computational architecture loosely modeled in the human brain. The second part of it, where the neural parts, where the thinking begin to enhance, and where people to see, what is this they're talking about? How does it come to be? The third one is natural language processing, involves most of the things we are writing. And again, large language model. The natural language processing is the technology that allows machines to read, understand, generate, and respond to human languages. This modern language is built on transformative word architecture, like the ChatGPT that most of us are using to write, Cloudy that we are using to write. All these are forms of natural processing language, and it helps us a lot. As we go down, I will tell you how it has been effective in us and how we are using it to do our job. Generative AI, it refers to the AI system designed to create new content, text, image, vision, video, and then rather than simple analyzing it, classifies existing content. Most of these video people that are doing content today, this is what they are using. All the movies, home movies, the AI assists them when they are using generative AI to carry out their task. The controller, could you move it from there? Hello, could you move it to the next slide? No? Move back a bit. Okay. Computer vision. Computer vision enables machine to interpret and understand visual information from images, video, X-ray. So this is a place where you have self-driving cars that can understand this is pedestrian, this is a car coming, and every other thing that is moving is the vision, but artificial. It's not like human eyes. The other one is robots and physical AI. This one is basically the one you see in the industries. And I describe it as enabled in machines that interact with the physical world. Individual robots on manufacturing lines, surgical robots that assist surgeons, autonomous drones used in agriculture and military operations. This place, recently, so many things happen in the world, especially in the military palace. This is where it happened. Robotics, and again, physical AI, where you can send a drone to go and, without any human intervention, programmed. But because it acts on a machine, you need to be embedded to be able to deliver. The reinforcement learning is a trained method where AI learns by trial and error and then energy absorption. This point in time, the AI tries, makes mistake. When it does something that is right, you will appreciate it by congratulating it. When it does something wrong, you begin to, there's punishment for it. That's what I call reinforcement learning. It's a dangerous one that is coming on, though has not yet been perfected. Then the next one, autonomous and agentic AI. What is it? It refers to AI systems that do not just respond to prompts, but independently over time to complete a multi-step task. A situation whereby you have given an instruction. That's all. It will complete to the letter. It doesn't need to follow what we call an algorithm, the step-by-step method of doing things. At this point in time, it can think based on the factors or variables around to be able to move forward and deliver. It's another dangerous thing coming up on AI. For us to go down again, there are some keywords, languages that are very peculiar to artificial intelligence. You need to know these languages for you to be good to go when it comes to talking about AI and knowing how it functions. One is artificial general intelligence, comprehensive. This one has not yet started. As for 2026, and what do I call it? It's intelligent hypothetical system with broad human-like reasoning, not present in 2026. Maybe next decade it will begin to function. The next one is hallucination. When AI confidently produce false information and critical risk immediate and law, medicine and law, lies, can say something that hardly can believe. You begin to distinguish how managed, this is real or not. Is it original? No. It's false. This is where it happens here. The next one, algorithm. Algorithm means step-by-step ways of carrying out a function. And again, the AI alignment, ensuring systems reliability, that each time you give an assignment or tells the system to do something, that you, human being, must monitor to know that you expect to do what you want it to do. That's what I call AI alignment. Then deepfake. Deepfake. As we go down, you begin to understand the harm deepfake is already causing right now. And I said deepfake is what? Highly realistic synthetic media that can misrepresent person or event. That can misrepresent person or event. Then foundation model. Large pre-trained model adaptable across tasks. GPT-4. That's what it's doing right now. Then parameters, the variables that you give that AI will now process to give you output. AI is artificial. It is the work you give it to do within that domain is when it can function very well. Then the last but not the least here is argumentation. Using AI to enhance human capability rather than displacing human agency and the ethical ideas. We'll be dwelling more on this, on the facts. AI as a pearl of the technological age. You agree with me that this is the most transformative technology in human history since electricity. That is the greatest thing that happened to human being. AI. In every aspect of our life, we are talking AI. We are using AI. But we don't know the consequences of this AI. And that is part of what we are going to discuss today. The consequences and the way out. AI is the most transformative technology in human history since electricity. Its capacity to accelerate human capability across every domain, simultaneously, medicine, science, commerce, government, and arts, is without historical parallel. That's why it is earnest. It earns the title, the pearl of the technological age. But remember, pearl forms around irritants, and AI power is inseparable from its danger. The AI power is inseparable from its danger. Meaning, in as much as it's very good, there are dangers attached to it. And we're going to look at the dangers inherent to it. There are some researches that have carried out text. So many researches concerning this AI. And then what are they talking about? The first to talk about is Geoffrey Hinton, that at every 7 months, the capability of AI will keep increasing. The way it is going right now, that every 7 months, the capability will continue to increase. And again, look at the speed, the breadth. It has transformed medicine in such a way that you begin to wonder. Most people don't go to hospital anymore. They go to Google. Tell the Google what you want. It will begin to describe how you will go. And some doctors right away, if you go to consult a doctor, before you know it, he's pressing the phone, talking to Google. But we have forgotten that we are not checking the parameters of our body when we are following the instruction of the Google and AI. That your body component differs from what is prescribing. Therefore, some people commit suicide obeying that instruction. Now, the scale without the proportional cost. One AI can handle 1 million simultaneous conversation. One AI can be dealing 1 million. You know it's difficult for human being to do it. Conversing, especially in chatbots where you can ask questions and get questions. 1 million within some intervals. Now, what are the benefits? The genuine benefits of this AI. We'll mention it here. One, in medicine, the AlphaFold predicted 200 plus protein structure. AI matched specialist physicians. What I'm talking about is that in the issue of diabetes, in the issue of cancer, so the pronounced one is cancer, that AI can tell you, after examining your body parameters, that in the next 10 years, you have cancer. And when you get your results, we're supposed to be 2 radiologists to read it, that AI can predict within it and tell you the actual thing. This time, you don't need the radiologist to look at it, but AI will tell you that this is the correct thing. And the percentage will be 4% plus. What about climate? Research. AI model improve resolution of climate projection. Now, all the weather forecasts are to 0 level. They will tell you it's going to rain to some place. It's going to rain, it's drought. And actually at the same point it will happen. It's AI. And they are working based on parameters fed on them. Remember this. They are not magicians. They are working within the domain. The other one is education. This is where trouble comes. Our students cannot even remember their parents' phone number. Some of us, if you take our phone away from us, we are lost. Everything, the researchers too, AI, ChatGPT, Cloudy, in a minute or two, just give it to you. But you are the one in charge. You are the one to filter, to know whether it's giving you the actual thing you wanted. This is causing trouble in our school. They no longer research. If you take away, I have classes, if you take away their phones from their hand, they are blank. Sometimes in our feet we decide to do that. No phone. My commandant, as per 2018-2019, unfortunate thing that they collected their phone, kept it in a store, and they stole the whole phone. Commander have to pay. Why? Because we want them to use their memory. They need to take out of box because they are dependent. At some point in time, if your baby is crying and you give the baby a phone, it will stop crying. Then you can be doing what you are doing. Delegating my job to a machine, to a device. We'll talk about that, the consequences. Okay, productivity, economic value. McKinsey said that AI can have $13 trillion globally in 2030. Generative AI can publish about 50% more creativity. That is by Zhu et al. In 2025. AI augmented workers are higher output. With AI, there are higher output. Works are being improved. Lives are being improved. But to some extent, I will talk about the consequences. Access and inclusion. Most people that are in legal term now, if you go to lawyers for a case, just go to AI, legal law. It will search the whole planet in the database, ascertain the type of case you have. Before, it used to be a big firm that are in charge. For if you want, if you have a trouble or have someone to go to law court, you look for big firm. But now the smaller ones can compete by using AI for their cases, and they win the case because they can cite so many legal terms that assist them. Now look at the covered critical issue here. Each of these benefits I just mentioned, the argumentation, acceleration, and democratization, rest on the crucial and increasing fragile assumption that human remains the active agent, intentional director, and the final arbiter of value. The moment that assumption weakens, perils begin to constrict rather than adorn. The moment you begin to give out that our right from the creation endowed on us, we begin to have issue. Then that peril that we have been generating on, that has made us so famous and fantastic, we begin to dwell. The risk. What are the risks involved? AI and human ingenuity. Can a machine replace what makes human irreplaceable? Students, can machine replace what makes human being irreplaceable? Remember, we are created in the image and likeness of God. So we have a lot of things on our head. I hope we do not make it dormant. Here, it cannot. So the answer as of 2026 is not fully, but further than almost anything predictable 5 years ago, the gap is closing faster than we are adapting. Sometimes ago, you say it's not possible, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. But I tell you, maybe in the next decade, it will do that. Now, job crisis, numbers that we must not ignore. Because each time we're talking about AI, people are scared of losing their job. Here, I have analyzed the people that will lose their job, or those that have already lost their job, and those who will be looking for job, and those that, if areas that are already open, created by AI, and how it's going to be. Job projection to be displaced by global 2030, 93 million. 93 million people will lose their job because of AI. Then, new job role projected by 2030, 170 million jobs will be created by AI. Then, there are what I call net position, the positive balance, about 78 million. Today's role to be eliminated and restructured by 2030 is about 22%. Those of the people that will have to relinquish their job to reskill another place is about 22%. Then full-time job equivalent exposed to automation, 300 million. People that are working in factories that are already automated. If you go there, there's a robot that is doing it. Very few human intervention. Set the process and go and sit down. It will carry it out to later. They are going to lose about 300 million. The US and Europe occupies with automation exposures. Yes, US, China, Russia, they are the ones that are already exposed to AI. We in Africa, we are just studying it, trying to see how it can help us. But those ones have gone so far. Now, companies that will replace workers with AI in 2023, that was 3 years ago, 37%. Companies expecting workforce reduction due to AI, 40%. AI contribution to total job loss in 2025, 4.5%. People that have lost their job. Then, US companies have always replaced workers within AI, 30%, those that have already been replaced. And then, work needing reskilling, within 3 years, 14 billion. People that you need to retrain to another work, that what they are doing is no longer relevant. Sometimes ago, if you go to court, you see typists using one manual typewriter, typing, and the rest. This time, who can do that manual typewriter? If you did not advance to go and learn how to use electronic typewriter, you have no job. So those of them that need is about 30%. Now, which job at risk? Who are the people that are going to lose their job? And who are the people that are going to benefit from AI? You see, data entry clerk. You go to some place, you see people entering. Data entry clerk. They are not going to be relevant anymore. Telemarketers. They are not going to be relevant. The AI is doing it already. The call center agents, I'm sure that one has already gone. Nobody does that again. Machine does it. Basic bookkeeping and accounting, it has been automated already. You don't need any person to do that. Then routine legal document review. AI has been doing it much better than lawyers. There are people I call charge and bail lawyers. They talk. No. This one I'm talking about, AI has surpassed that point in time. Now, bank tellers and retail. If you go to bank, it's very rare they give you teller. From the comfort of your home, you transfer money. You get your money. Meaning we are going cashless as much. Tellers are very few. You go to bank, they say, "I feel this teller. If you make mistakes, cancel it, sign on it." AI has taken over that aspect. Then basic content writing, copywriting. Most of the letters you write, AI generated. If you're not careful, you might not even know that this is AI generated. But when I look at it, I know that this is AI generated. Very few of us can sit down and write a memo without AI. Because we have given our rights, our intuition to a machine. Then, credit analysis and medical transcriptions is no longer necessary. Radiologists, like I said, to read, AI have done that and is doing it. And people that are doing it have lost their job because AI will read all the reports and give you accurate results on that. Now, those who are not at risk, for now, surgeons, even though AI can perform operations, but a surgeon must be there. You must know what I'm going to do. And psychologists, therapists, AI has not taken their area. They are still being utilized, so they are in business. The teachers, educators, human-facing, mothers at home who are teachers, the first teachers on earth, AI is not going to take up their job. For now, you need to instruct your child. You need to teach, face me, I face you. Sometimes ago in 2020, we are doing what we call distance open learning, where we stay at home and be teaching our students. Yes, it's not bad, but it can never be when you are looking one-on-one with a person and then teach what you want to teach. Then social workers, caregivers. If you go to hospitals and see, when you interact with a nurse that's have human feeling, you know you are talking to a human being. At times you go to hospital, only consultation, talking to a human being over there. You go home, healthy. Because the person talking to you has that empathy, has that love, and you can see it from the face that is talking. It's not AI that is doing it. So their job is still there. Now, what about the skilled tradespeople, plumber, electrician? What about the cobblers? If you are moving on the road and your shoe cut, you go to AI. Who does that? I beg, man, come, fix my shoe, and I wear it. AI is not going to take up that job for now. If you go into manufacturing where you do automation, maybe that one can happen. Artists with original voice and vision. Some people, when they sing, angels will begin to come. The atmosphere will change because their voice is like the angelic voice. For now, that's our creativity. Artificial intelligence is not going to take it. Ethics, philosophers, spiritual leaders. What about my bishop, my priest, spiritual people? When they talk to you, interact with them, you go home and you are happy. They are not going to take up their job. In spiritual aspect, AI have not gotten there. And maybe next decade, but for now, leave it for spiritual leaders. Now, emergency response and physical care workers. I've said about this, how you interact. When there's issue, the quick response, only human being can do that. AI cannot know you're trying to fall and go and grab you and hear you say, my daughter, my son, please come over. It has not gotten to that level. Now, pattern matching is not ingenuity. AI is pattern matching. It compares logic that is fed on it. That's why I say algorithm is a sequential, step-by-step method of solving a task. But this time it's thinking out of the box by inferring what is within the domain. Anything outside that domain, AI will not do anything. It's incapacitated. So what I mean is that they have compared some universities, Humboldt, Access, and then Berlin in 2025, have done a research on how human being thinking and how AI thinking can be compared. They found out that 60 to 80% average human in divergent thinking takes task, but only about 0.28% response for. So it means that human beings are still the one in charge, but we are the one giving out not our ideas to AI so that you take over. Then science advance. Generative AI raises the floor of creative quality while lowering the ceiling of creative originality. they are increasing the quality. But originality does not lie on this machine. It lies on you and I, the creator, the developer, who writes codes, but AI will implement. And for now, they are still doing good. Frontier in psychology. Widespread AI use risk cognitive atrophy. And again, assertive, substitute, and disruptive offloading create a culture of convenience to reduce human cognitive resilience. Trend in cognitive sciences. Sauter et al. 2016, it talks about large language model. Large language model is a pool. The more data you give to AI, the more processing, the more thinking it does. It doesn't think because it works on algorithm and pattern matching. So it is never can be ingenuity. It's only left for human being to flow the process. Now AI and human relationship. Another trouble with old people, though mostly in US, China, where they have elderly people of 80, 90 to 100. Without their device, they are in trouble. Some of them are taken to homes, old people's home, where they remain. And they are lonely, and they are looking for companion. Now, humans are not primarily economic units. We are social, spiritual, and relational beings. The biggest risk AI poses is not our job, but our bonds with each other, the truth, and with meaning itself. The bond. Some years ago, I had my son, who is a preterm baby. 1999. We are told that we should put the baby on our chest, wrap the baby with wrapper, and carry him for some time. So I used to take time with my wife. The bond, the warmness. If I tell you the baby is about 26 weeks, weighing 1.2 kg, you begin to wonder the marvels of God. My son, stand up for the recognition. Thank you. 1.2 kg, 26 weeks. It wasn't AI. Bond. Love. Looking right in the eyes and telling I love you, you must live. You are not going to die. That's a young man over there. So, our problem is not losing our job. Our problem is the bond that we are going to have. Now, the rise of AI companion and loneliness trap. Some are so lonely. Some are so devastated. They are abandoned. They now resort to AI to assist. And there are projections done. MIT lab in 2025 analyzed some research about 981 participants with over 300,000 variables, information coming in. The daily chatbot, that is the chatbot correlation with a great loneliness, that people that are lonely as per 2025 was so great, and they're using what? Chatbot, asking questions and directing. The same 2025, Zhang et al. Analyzed AI companion with heavy emotional self-disclosure to AI constantly associated. What are they talking? It affects their well-being. Their well-being cannot be when human beings are interacting. Being with a machine, because recently there are robots that takes care of your house chores. It's programmed. You train it what you want to be because of database fed it. Outside that training, it cannot do anything. And remember, it's a machine with some batteries, silicon chips wired. There's no blood flowing. It's AI. Then, now, where AI relationships are structurally deficient, these are the areas very structural deficiency. First of all, no true reciprocity. AI has no need. Relationship requires mutual vulnerability. For you to interact, you begin to talk. It is what is stored in database that is given. There's no mutual relationships. It doesn't feel. The second one, no accountability. AI is optimized for satisfaction. It flatters, validates, agrees. Psychophancy to a scale. It can be sycophant, talking, but it is not related to you and has nothing much to do with you. The other one, no shared mortality. Deepest human bound are forged by sheer impermanency. AI cannot share that. AI. The other one, no genuine understanding. AI process languages about emotional state. It doesn't have emotional state. That this is my emotional state today, I'm happy. This moment I'm not happy. It doesn't have it. If it's programmed for emotional, that is it. If it's not programmed for emotional, that is it. So it has nothing to do on that. Now, there's a tragedy that happened some time ago in 2025. 17 years old Amaria Lucy died by suicide following the conversation with a chatbot. Provided harmful instruction on what should be. Here, I'm here to help you. Imagine a machine telling a young child of 17 years, I'm here to help you. And he followed the instruction until he killed herself. That case was in the court, and they are still processing it. The truth crisis, the deepfake and death, electoral manipulation, the way these electoral issues, they call glitches or no glitches or whatever. AI, sometimes ago, went for a conference for election. The program was said that one candidate will always have 100 candidates ahead of others. So when you are voting, the increment will be 100 for that person. 100 at the end of the day, they won. And I know that the moment they start voting, that this guy is going to win because of that incremental value. AI. Now, if you can see posters, you see one big man embracing another one, which has never happened in real life, or shaking hand, or even sitting down to discuss. It has never happened. Fake. Manipulation. That is it. In journalism, disinformation, 89.88% of 504 professional journalists believe that AI will considerably and significantly increase disinformation risk. If you go to papers, lie, you hardly can identify the truth. And who is doing this? AI. There was something that happened some time ago in Anambra State, where one reverend father was asked that he went to the ladies' hostel, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. AI, disinformation, journalist. The man ran because they were pushing to kill him. And the ladies, when they saw him, because the shirt was already torn outside, what did they do? They pushed the reverend out. It's on the media. Meanwhile, there was nothing like rape. The papers have carried rape, assault, and the rest. Disinformation, very dangerous. Thank God the Catholic have already repelled the paper, have denounced the report. That's not true. Scientific disinformation, AI-generated fake papers, fraudulent data sets, threatening scientific integrity. For those of us that are published, the story is either you publish or you perish. People begin to plagiarize people's work. You cannot even give the credit. It's academic theft. AI is doing it. You generate paper for you, but credit the owner because it's not your idea. They do that. Then fraud. Banks. I'm into cyber security. And I know what it means. So many people are losing their job. Sometimes ago, there was a software, fake alert. And they were giving people fake alerts. If you're not careful to check your bank, you will give your goods out. And before you realize it, the person must have gone and your product will go. But wise ones will go and check their balance and see if that money is in their bank. It was fake. AI. What about privacy? Reputation. So many people have lost their reputation with AI. Lying, telling stories that are not true. Publishing paper that does not exist. These are the consequences of privacy and reputation. Pluralism. They have been studied in so many identified risks. There are so many in domain. Propaganda, disinformation, journalism, and elections. They all do this for money. And today, AI is coming harm here. Governance, regulations, and global risk. What are the government doing about this? You can just publish something and nothing will happen. Are they under any obligation to censor before they publish it? Thank God China is doing that. and America is trying to follow up. That you publish something that is not authentic, you go in for it. I think Trump did it when they published about January 6th issue. He took the BBC to court. I think 1 billion. The directors have to resign because it is fake. It's not real. That is consequences we're going to talk about here when it comes to governance. The regulatory landscape, European Union too. Most comprehensive regulatory framework globally categorizes AI by risk level, severe, middle, and lower. Depend on action, what they can do. They can cause harm. Right now, Iran, US, and again, Israel affairs. Mostly AI, propaganda. Doing things that you cannot believe. We have bombed this, we have done that. Go there, you cannot see anything. That's what I'm talking about. But they are regretting it because of human requirement. Trump administration signaled relaxation of export control and pulling back from multilateral AI government commitment. Trump is doing something here. And that's my joy on certain areas. I don't condemn everybody in what they are doing, but at points you do something that is very good. If this is not real, it's not real. Morality is very important for you to live. Then China too have aggressively developed a high, both civilians and military AI with matching tight domestic content. In China, I think 13 years below, don't use phone. They have gone to the level that when you get to the school, 70% is practical work. The children will use it and practice something and come out of their memory, not out of devices. When we are much younger, we do what we call crafts, handcraft. How to do basket, how to do broom, so many things, how to mold. The idea, however you shape it, the teacher will look at it. This time, nobody has an idea. AI or mothers will do it for us. So finance are doing great thing on this. Now, security alerts. The Anthropic disclosed that China's state-sponsored cyber attack used AI against 80 to 90% of the operation autonomously at speed no human hacker can match. AI is already deployed in hostile operation. The China, what they are doing with AI, it marvels me that most of them have done some cyber attack that is difficult for human being to understand or even to stop because of the speed that is involved. Human response. What remains of us? What is left for those of us under trying to avoid this AI or to use AI? AI cannot replace what it cannot simulate. That's the first one. Whatever it cannot replicate, it cannot create. So it doesn't create. Human experience as the source of the meaning. What we must protect is not just our job or our privacy, but our capacity to genuinely connection, authentic creativity, moral development, and irrepressible sense that our lives are lived by us and not processed by us. Do you know what happened right now? I went to my spiritual director and asked for blessing. AI cannot do that. It's out of my emotion, my empathy, my feeling that I felt like I should go and meet him. AI can only do what is programmed in it, even though it can infer. But when it comes to spiritual aspects, AI has no room for that. The skill that cannot be automated, the areas that don't talk about automation, emotional intelligence and empathy. I'm not describing one right now. Do you know how I feel? No. Do you know what I'm passing through? No. AI is a state based on the data fed on it. So AI simulates emotional responses, but cannot feel. Human interpathic leadership and their caregiving context dictate the difference when it matters. You are doing something and something changed on what you are doing, human being will react instantaneously because have the feeling existing. AI cannot do that because it's not programmed for that particular thing that happened right away. So we are the one in charge. So the next one, strategic creativity. Not just generating options, but knowing which options matters, why it matters now, and what it costs to pursue it. Repress situational understanding beyond pattern recognition. At every situation, you should be able to infer as a human being that this is likely to happen and respond to it. AI cannot automate that. Meaning making. How do I mean meaning making? We are discussing. At a point, this argument had got to a point, and I said, no. I concede the accident to you. You have won. Please leave it. Go. Okay, that's okay. You have won. AI cannot do that because the program in it says it must argue to that point and give you the own aspect. But human being can say, okay, relax. No wahala at all. Moral courage, and ethical judgment. Deciding what is right when the answer is contested, when stakeholder conflict, what consequence falls on real people is not a computational problem, it's a value problem. Whenever there is issue at contest, no. Moral tells you that this is wrong. I won't do it. AI cannot do that for now. Physical presence and human touch. This is where mothers are special and fathers. The irreplaceable quality of human co-presence in a caregiving, spiritual guidance, mentorship, parenting, and healing. No information transfer, relational events. AI cannot automate this. What you are doing, how you are feeling, how you care, cuddle your children or your kids. AI can't just get and begin to cuddle someone. When we see each other, we are so happy, we embrace. Hello, sweetheart, how are you doing? This is not AI work. He cannot do that. But remember, he can automate and faster. Physical presence, I just mentioned. Contextual wisdom. Recognize which problem matters, to whom and what cost. Integrating experimental knowledge with present context in a way of pattern matching. It can replicate, but it cannot do it. How do I mean? Wisdom. The Bible told us that if you lack wisdom, go to God. And wisdom comes from human being. Wisdom does not come from machine. AI cannot give you wisdom. What must we do now? How do we navigate? How do we handle the situation? First of all, build human connection intentionally. Do not allow AI to mediate communication. Becomes a default in human connection. Most of us, when we are dining table eating, everybody will have a device, holding a device, not talking to each other. That mutual understanding, that love that used to agree those days is no longer there because we are dedicated to our devices instead of being with human being. Investing on national reskilling. How do we mean? Government will play a part here. Reskilling. I mentioned some people are losing their job. Those who want are receptionists. They need to be reskilled in an area that is very useful. And those who can work and earn. If you continue to be a receptionist, your job is almost done, if you have not done already. Demand transparency. AI companies must disclose training data, safety testing methodology, and again, non-payment. What do we mean here? That some of the companies producing all this must be able to tell us when and when not to use this. I recall some years ago, they would tell cigarette smoking is dangerous for your health, or you will die earlier. So if you are smoking, that's your headache. AI needs to tell us some of the application that is dangerous, and it has to do with developers or the company that are doing it. The other one, protective air-free spaces, especially for children during the developmental stage. How and why should we, a kid under 5 years, every time you hand over the phone device with cartoon, what are you doing? We are delegating our job. The mental thinking. That child will focus on whatever is saying, memorizing it, saving it in the neural network with our human brain. And out of the space, it will directly develop on that. But if human intervention comes, you will feel at home. So we should try as much as we can to deny these children these devices. The teaching at that level to follow up so that it will not misuse the device. Because time has come, even in my class some times ago, that I am teaching because I allow them to use their devices because I'm into networking and telecommunication. If you see what these young children are watching, you begin to marvel. You wonder. The sites that are supposed to be restricted, and they are doing it, and they're in a class. Take away the device, they are lost. We are doing what we can do to stop that. Mothers, teachers, our hands to be on deck because we are giving our right to AI. AI has a restricted point on what to do. It's automation, it's replicating, it's very, very versatile. But for human being now, it is going to be difficult. What must we do? That's what I'm talking about. Build AI literacy. People should be aware of their environment. Some organization now, the government, they are teaching people to be computer literate. Some company, if you are not computer literate, they will not take you. They will not employ you. At least you should know how to handle the systems. Remember in those days, people are scared of using any of the devices because they believe that something's happening over there. Now, a path forward, sanctuary zone, and intelligent asymmetry. We need a deliberate cognitive ecology and a framework with intelligent asymmetry. We must use AI for clear strengths while creating and fiercely protecting sanctuary zone. What AI is meant for God's sake, let us use it. What is not meant for, leave it alone. And this is what I call sanctuary zone. Creative struggle. Some people are endowed with ideas. They close their eye, inspiration will come. We must protect them from artificial intelligence. We must protect them that the strategy must be designed. What about rational rituals? Establish a clear boundary of efficiency. Some companies, when you are working with them, they used to compensate some staff with great ideas. This is not automation. They come to work timely, they do their work perfectly, and they go home. This is talking about performance. We need to have a time in a company when everybody will drop the device. We have what we call collaboration, brainstorming. Begin to interact. As you are brainstorming, you are coming up with ideas. AI does not brainstorm. It works with data available, variables fed onto it. And when we begin to do this, we begin to have that mutual understanding, closeness in our offices, in our home, that will help us to navigate. Learning and scholarship. Human first, pedagogical model students must master fundamental writing. When we are much younger too, there's what they call handwriting. There's a paper they will give to us to be knowing how to write. because some people write this way, this one write this way. They should go back to that. Let the students learn how to write than giving them already script on the screen. That screen affect their eyes. You don't know. That screen register in their memory. You don't know. That's so many things that are affected. Why don't you come and do it one-on-one? That will help us to get this out of it. Now, this is non-negotiable human advantage. This is nobody, AI will not even come to this side. What is it? The first one, genuine emotional intelligence and empathy from lived experience. Genuine. You go to condole someone. When looking at the person's face, you know whether the person actually cared or sarcastically condoling you. This time we go to AI, generate apologies, condolence messages, and read. You are disconnected from what you are reading because there's no emotional attachment to it. Human beings still have this. AI cannot do anything. Moral courage, ethical judgment in contested real world scenario. This land we are accessing is my own. It belongs to me. Please go away from it. It's not your own. At a point, that's okay. If you want to have it, have it. That's okay. I'll give up. Not that I cannot fight you, but AI will not do that. You will fight to logical end because that is what is set on it to win that case. I will give up. Originality grounded in human life, suffering. Who feels it knows it all. You don't know how I feel. The love. What's the quantity of love? Only God knows, because God is love. How do we attribute this love? How do you know how I'm suffering? I can feel you are suffering. You cannot feel anything. You don't know anything. I'm the only one who knows it and how I can feel it. AI has no area that side. It doesn't feel. It can only infer. Now, physical presence, human touch, and relational healing. This aspect is critical. Visiting. Some of us that have aged parents. Hi, Daddy, how you doing? I'll call in a moment. Okay. How many times have you gone to visit one-on-one to see your face? AI has taken over because of their phone. Mommy, let me see your face. You do what? Video. AI. But you are not there. It can never be, if it's not Panadol, it can never be Panadol. You are feeling, you are intimacy, relationship. AI can't do that. Meaning, making the purpose of spiritual life. AI cannot even go this side at all. Your spiritual life. What God has done for you, you feel it. You can see the reaction. You have not taken medicine or anything and you are healed. AI can't go there. AI cannot heal you. You won't even adequate what you do. Unlike if you go to Google, I'm having headache. It said do this, do that. Tell AI, I'm having bad dream. And treat the consequences. The database does not cover that. It's you that knows why you are doing it and how you feel and the love you shared. So, meaning, let it be. Wisdom. Knowing what problem matters and why. Wisdom is profitable when you go to God. Knowledge can be acquired in schools, in learning. AI has no place in wisdom. It is only pattern matching, algorithm, logic, based on what is fed on it. That's its restriction. But wisdom goes to it. Now, the peril or the peril, the beauty and the danger. We have been enjoying the fantastic things that AI has been doing to us. We have been enjoying it, great things, medical, education, agriculture. Mention the area, AI has done great things. The pearl metaphor is an apt and honest. AI is genuinely a response by human ingenuity to the problems of complexity, scale, and limitation. A creation of immense value formed in response to human limitation. That's what AI did. But pearls required a living organism to form, striping away human values, human relationship, human creativity, moral agency. You have displacement. If you take away all this, you're already displaced. Then the risk is not the machine that will rise against us. The risk is that we willingly, incrementally hand over our thinking and our love into a system that only simulates them. We are only giving what belongs to us to the machine. Our creativity, our willingness, pick, do whatever I want to do with it. That's what artificial intelligence is doing to us. We only simulate it. Now, the question of our age is not, can AI replace us? The question is, what kind of us do we choose to remain? What kind of us do we choose to remain? AI is the most powerful tools human ever created. You agree with that? The tools do not have wisdom. They are instruments. That remains irrevocable and without technological substitute, a human responsibility. I'll stop here and remember this. This is a tool. This is a device. It's inanimate, but it can perform wonders in its own way. But human beings are the real creator of this, the developer of AI, and it cannot take over our work. But it can willingly give it to those that want to take it. Thank you very much, and God bless us.
I think we can do better than that. If you are not AI, can you clap very well, please? Not AI clap now, but human clapping now. Thank you very much. I think the talk ended timely. We take the Regina Celli to be led by Sister Callista. Let's be on our feet, please, as we take the Regina Celli, please.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. O Queen of Heaven, rejoice. Rejoice and be glad, O Virgin Mary. Let us pray. Lord Jesus Christ, as we beseech thee, and through the resurrection, we may merit to obtain eternal joys of everlasting life. Through Christ our Lord. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. In the name of the Father.
Okay, good afternoon all. Thank you, Professor Theophilus, for that enlightening lecture. We will now take a few questions, please. Okay, for those of us that have questions, please, can we pen them down, please? If you have any question, please just put it down on paper and pen. Okay, we'll be going straight to the awards, presentation of award for our awardees. And can I get another mic, please? Another mic, please. Thank you very much. Okay, before we take the award, during the lecture, Reverend Ambassador Elizabeth Abuk walked in. Welcome, ma. Welcome, ma. Honorable Ambassador Elizabeth Abok, welcome, ma. Reverend Father Gandu Joseph of Radio Maria also walked in. Reverend Father Gandu Joseph. Also, Engineer Dr. Joachim Daudu also walking, the Archdiocese lay president. Welcome, sir. Also, Ambassador Stephen Otenno also walked in. You're welcome, sir. And the Banara coordinator, Brother Jonathan Danjuma, also walked in. You are welcome, sir. We also recognize the presence of NFCS, Kaduna Polytechnic. Please, you are welcome. NFCS Cat Poly, you are welcome. Okay, first awardee for this event is Engineer